from Hollywood Pictures, Coach Jimmy Dolan traveled to Africa to discover the next basketball superstar.
Kid's got the hang time of a hot air balloon.
Like, hey, Jordan.
What he found
We'll play basketball game. We bet all our land.
is a tribe who needed his help.
You will be our coach.
Together, they're about to play the game of their lives. Kevin Bacon.
He's goosing her. Come on.
The Air Up There, rated PG.
All right, are we ready?
Bush. All right, welcome to Movie the Podcast. Sorry, Movie the Podcast. It's week two of basketball June. God damn it! And we watched my pick, The Air Up There. Starring,
Yeah, what were you thinking?
I was thinking this is a basketball movie.
I
haven't
still
seen.
stand by my thought that you thought that thumbnail was fucking hilarious, and that's why you picked it. Because that's the only reason I would pick it.
I've never seen. I remember the commercials when I was a kid back in 1994, and that's why I picked it. It's just like, well, this looks like it'll be fun to talk about because it's going to be chock full of issues, and that's what we did. We watched The Air Up There.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna see how this plays out.
This is gonna be a bit a weird take for me, but it wasn't as racist as I hoped it would be.
It was that weird 90s woke racism where it's like we're helping by highlighting differences but doing it in like a white savior.
I mean, we still
racist
have
way.
that. It's the weird fucking neoliberal racism.
It's woke racism.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Where he's like better at being African than anybody else is.
Right, yeah, it's like raising him up but then still overshadowing him by this little short white guy to save
He
him.
doesn't even get his dick cut off to be in the tribe like the other guy.
Well, no, he gets
Bullshit.
the
Was
part
that
of
a
it cut off.
circumcision? We'll get into it.
We'll get into it. All right, what'd you all watch this week, Sean?
Nothing. Basketball playoffs.
Man, it's the basketball's. It's the it's the basketball.
Is the basketball? No, the basketball won't be over for about a month.
At least.
Also, I hate movies now. BT Dubs.
Yeah, movies fucking suck.
Eat shit, movies.
All right, pass the mic then.
Alec.
I didn't watch anything.
What
Hell
the
yeah,
fuck?
basketball playoffs pass.
The only thing I watched that might be of some interest is me and TJ watched the first episode of Loki.
Oh yeah, that was good. I like
How
that.
was good?
It was enjoyable. It's fun.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
Oh, I don't, Alec, you might care. I think you might like this show.
Alec.
I might be the only one. The news radio is on Crackle now, like all of it.
Oh, nice. I used to love that show.
Yeah.
Which one was News Radio? Who was
That's
in that?
Phil Hartman and Dave Foley.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stephen Root.
Joe Rogan.
Maura Tierney, maybe?
That's right. Joe Rogan
Yeah.
was in that show. I forgot.
Yeah,
That was like back in that like crop of shows like Just Shoot Me and like those weird like office like those little like they were all like just office.
The
Go ahead,
impossible office jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
Just Shoot Me was another one that I used to love. With,
I used to watch
Spade
it.
And
Sweater puppets. That chick with the huge.
The one from The Stand, yeah. She
Laura
was somebody
San Giacomo.
Was she somebody famous's daughter? Was she like some like a designer or like she's somebody's daughter before someone says it? But then,
I think she was somebody's daughter on the show, Gogs. The character
in
was.
the show, she was. I forget the old guy's name.
Fuck.
She was his daughter, and he was the designer and like the magazine owner.
You know what? I think
It
that's
has,
it. I think that's the connection.
Yeah, I remember that show because Go ahead.
I forget his name is Nestor something, I think, but he
Carbone.
He was in
The
Galaxy Quest is like the
he was the mascot for Nintendo Power.
Well, he's also right. That's it's spelled different. No, he was Mayor of fucking Eyeliner in The Dark Knight.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
that's a different. I'm thinking of somebody else.
Is that not the same guy?
No, I'm talking about the guy who was the lead alien in Galaxy Quest.
Oh,
he was a photographer. He was a photographer in that and Just Shoot Me, and he always had like impossibly hot women that he hooked up with.
That's how TV
Enrico
shows work.
Colatoni or something like that.
One of my favorite tropes of Seinfeld was that George always was portrayed as this like loser, but like all of his girlfriends were like smoking hot. He was getting laid like constantly. It's like what a dork.
All unearned.
He even dated Marissa Tomei for a couple of episodes.
Wait, no, that was Jerry.
No, that was George.
Oh, wait, I'm thinking of who was Lois Lane on Smallville.
That was Terry Hatcher.
That's who.
Yeah, and that's
Not Smallville. The New Adventures of Lois and Clark.
Yeah, and her name was Dolores. Her name rhymed with a female genitalia or whatever.
Oh yeah, he yells it out. Dolores.
And he thought her tits were fake, and she leaves. She breaks up.
That's two different plot lines, isn't it? The fake tit thing and the Dolores are two different women.
I thought it.
Different women.
Well, the Terry Hatcher thing's the tit thing because she goes.
That's the Terry. Yeah, because
they're real, and they're fantastic.
and they're wonderful. Yeah,
something like that. Anyway, all right. So Alec didn't watch anything. Sean didn't watch anything.
Bounce past it to somebody.
You guys check out the Loki show. Episode 1's really good.
Yeah, it's cool.
Really,
I can't wait.
It's really wild.
I really wish they put like the first 2 on because the first one's like a good setup, and I really want to see where it goes. But Disney Plus is like gotta drip feed that shit to you.
When does Moon Knight come out? That's what I'm looking for.
Oh, not for a while. They're in like pre-production right now.
Wow.
I know. There's the 4 fonts that are in Loki's. The 4 fonts that are in Loki's name on the show. What 4 characters are those?
I have no idea.
Oh,
I don't know what that means.
I don't know. I'd have to look at it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was like super obvious, and I just couldn't figure it out. Okay, neat.
I think it's just them doing wild, weird fonts.
Yeah, the whole thing is like the general idea is that. So you remember in Endgame where the Avengers fucked with the time stream, and there's
and
that
he got the Tesseract. Yeah,
that scene where he like blips out.
Yeah.
So that Loki, because remember, like Loki Prime or whatever ends up getting killed.
Dead. Yeah.
But like that Loki is still alive, and he gets basically arrested by like the time cops, and that's kind of where this story goes. It's interesting. It's fun.
And Owen Wilson is the time cop in charge of him.
Yeah, and they have really a lot of like. Oh, sorry. Okay.
I was going to say they have really good chemistry. Like Owen Wilson's really he's usually a pretty charming guy, and he's really charming in this.
Yeah, he's really good. And also like there's a lot of like fun. Like there's little like animations in the show. There's like a lot of fun design. Like the time cops like whole like kind of like office areas, kind of like retro 60s looking. I don't know. It's cool. I like.
So like I saw the stills of Loki with this person who I did not realize was Owen Wilson. I thought it was either like a digitized Michael Gross or it was whoever played.
What the fuck is Michael Gross?
From Family Ties.
Yeah, from Tremors, Michael Gross.
Oh, is he dead?
No.
Why were you thinking of the dad from Growing Pains?
Is he related to Terry? Is he related to Terry Gross?
Maybe
from Fresh Air.
Yes,
love Terry Gross, and then he kind of looks like what's his name?
Luke Wilson.
No, yes, he looks like Luke Wilson. He looks like Tony Stark's dad, sort of. I was kind of say Howard Stark.
The second version of his dad, not the first version of his dad.
Yeah, but like him all silver foxed out. Like I didn't recognize him at all.
Not Dominic.
Is all the time shit they're trying to tie into? Do you think they're trying to tie it to the Eternals or something? Is it like going somewhere like that?
I think they're gonna try. It's gonna be tie into Ant-Man.
Okay.
Their whole next movie is all about like the quantum realm and time stuff.
I also think this is how they're going to put Loki back in the regular movies. Like this is how he's going to basically come back to life.
Gotcha.
Because I would be shocked if he doesn't figure out how to get back into like the prime timeline by the end of this.
Yeah, it's good. Tom Hiddleston's good. There's a neat beat. I don't think it's really a spoiler, but like he is trying to like they have this little like time thing they put on him, and that like warps time forward and backwards, so he's like a prisoner. And every time he acts up, they like throw him like 10 seconds into the past, and he falls down.
Wow.
Well, he escapes with that thing, and then he goes and finds Pillboy. Pillboy is one of the Time Variance Authority guys. And Pillboy's like a not newspaper, like a mail delivery person in there. And Loki like finds him and grabs his cart because he's trying to find a key to get out. And he opens his cart, and his cart is just full of Infinity Stones.
Okay.
And he's like, you know what, Loki's like, you know what these are? He's like, well, I don't know, but like they use them as paperweights. Like they just have them just laying on Infinity Stones laying around everywhere.
It sounds like Michael Schur took a pass at this. Like this feels very The Good Place sort of.
Well, the whole like concept of like there's multiple realities and multiple like cosmic artifacts, but they won't work in other realities. That's canonical to the comics. They've done that before.
Do you see the time knife?
Oh, that's why my dick doesn't work, is because I'm actually from another dimension.
That's
Yeah, you're
right.
from the
My home
613.
dimension. Yeah.
You're not
You're from the 619.
Sean,
Yeah, no, I'm
Sean Prime is lost
Whatever
somewhere.
that dimension that Mad Jim Jaspers created in the Alan Moore Excalibur run.
That is a pull, buddy. That is a big pull.
Thank you. I've been sitting
all right.
on that for years.
All right, TJ.
I watched three things.
Holy
three
shit.
things. I watched George A. Romero's The Amusement Park.
I saw that pop up somewhere recently.
Yeah, so it's kind of neat. This was like a lost film. This is something that was like basically was shown at a few like film festivals and stuff, but never was properly released. Like not even on VHS or anything. I forget how the company that put it out got the masters, but they like restored it in 4K. It's on Shudder right now. Honestly, it's kind of like a college film student kind of vibe. It's a cool movie, and it's definitely neat to see something that was kind of lost forever. It's it's a very like artsy kind of movie where the idea is it's a whole movie about like what it is to get old and how society kind of casts away old people. But
Like Dirty Grandpa.
Like Dirty Grandpa, but the thing is, like, it's very like I don't know. Again, like I like it, but it's only 52 minutes long, which is I think I like the most about it because it's so short. I can't hate on something that's under an hour long.
You're trying to find a nice way to say it's kind of up its own ass a little bit.
Well, the problem is that like it has a intro and an ending where the lead actor like kind of explains what the movie is, and you know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
And like the thing is, the movie's not subtle, like you get it, and like it's all these kind of like weird kind of surrealist scenes that happen around in an amusement park. Like basically, like the lead character, like he can't get like the money he needs. He's basically like treated. Like in every instance, he's treated like a second-class citizen. Like it again, it's very. You didn't need the button or the ending to explain what's going on. Like you get it, but again, it's still neat for what it is. There's some cool there is some interesting scenes. It's neat to see Romero do something that's kind of surreal and weird. But I mean, again, this is like it's less a movie and more like a fun little like something you would find on like a Blu-ray collection. You know what I mean? Like it's not something that you're going to be like, man, I can't wait to watch that again. Like,
what's that fucking short animation, that David Lynch thing, where it's like 6 different shorts or whatever.
Oh, his like short film collection with like six men getting sick and
the
Luminaires project and all that stuff. Yeah. I
love the Luminaires.
The Arctic Monkeys project.
The poster for this thing is cool looking though.
Again, it's less than an hour long. Like if you're a big Romero fan, it's definitely worth checking out. It does remind you that Romero's dead, which is sad because he was a talented director, and
he sucked way before he died.
It is, his last like 3 movies were really bad, but it is cool to see this movie because again, it goes back into like the social commentary thing, and like it's interesting that Romero was like really really into like issues that I hear about all the time now about like social, what people would dub like social justice causes. I mean, like Dawn of the Dead is not at all subtle about its depiction of like cops and racism and that kind of thing, and even in Night of the Living Dead, there's a romance between a black guy and a white lady, and that was not cool in 1963. A lot of people were very uneasy about that kind of stuff. I say back then, like people, there still aren't people out there that are like, I don't know. But anyway, it's definitely interesting. It's worth checking out.
You still can't have Finn kiss Ray for the same reason in 2020.
Yeah, for real, fucking ridiculous. But anyway, it's interesting. Again, it's under an hour long. Check it out if you like Romero. It's on Shudder. Yet again, Shudder is like the best $3 a month you'll ever spend. That fucking
Yeah, it's such a value proposition. It's
dude, that fucking channel rules. And Psycho Gorman's on there now. So there you go.
Been on there, man.
I also watched. I'm just going to count this really as one thing. It's 3 movies, but I only watched 2 out of the 3. The last one I just didn't have time to finish because I watched these today. I watched the Berserk Golden. What the hell are these called? They have a very long title. Anyway, it's like the Berserk Golden Age Arc 1 and 2.
The anime?
Yeah, it's on It's on Netflix. I love this. I'm in the process of reading the Berserk comic books. I've read like a handful of them throughout my life, but I never read the entire thing.
It's one of those like 9 million volume mangas, though, right?
So it's funny. It's funny you say that. So here is the funny thing that led me to piracy yet again. So if you buy these soft cover trades of Berserk, there's 42 of them, 42 volumes, and that would cost you around $350 to buy all of them. Now, they also have these really nice big leather-bound deluxe editions of the manga, right? There are 6 of those, and that will also cost you $350 to buy all of them.
Yeah.
So I just found them on the internet, and I'm reading them on my phone, but that's fine. But anyway, these animes, I've been getting kind of back into anime lately, and I've been looking for stuff to watch, and I've heard there's been a lot of different Berserk adaptations over the years. Like there was a show that came out a few years ago that's apparently really bad. But there's like
I thought that's what you were talking about because I know people bitched about it.
That's supposed to be awful. But this series, these 3 movies came out in I think like 2012, and it's all on Netflix. They have a dub if you don't want to read. The dub's done really well. I watched the dub, and I loved it. I thought the animation was really cool. Like it's a lot of like. It's like 3D models with like hand-drawn animation like in the middle. So like all the action scenes can be like really epic and they can kind of do things with the camera. It's like super violent. But the only thing that's kind of strange is that it's the Golden Age arc in Berserk without getting like too into the weeds of this comic series is like kind of the least insane story arc of Guts. It's like literally so like the comic books kind of take place in the middle of the story. Like the main character Guts is this like badass swordsman that goes around and he's hunting these demons, and specifically he's hunting these like hierarchy demons, kind of like Cenobites, called the God Hand. So anyway, that's where the comic starts. The Golden Age is like way before all this. Like Guts, the main character, he's like known for not having one of his eyes. One of his eyes is missing. Well, the Golden Age, he still has his eye. This is like his origins, where he like kind of meets his like original band and like knows like this is how he kind of gets his start. But the Golden Age doesn't get into like all the crazy like demon shit and magic that the later series does. So it's kind of a weird thing to adapt, like as like your first 3 movies. I guess originally this was supposed to be like a 12-part series, but the animation studio went tits up. It's really unfortunate because I highly recommend these 3 movies. If you've never seen Berserk, or read any Berserk, like it's a great jumping on point because it literally is the beginning and you'll understand what the hell's going on. The animation's like super cool. The fight scenes are really cool. It's very violent. Like even if you're not into like anime, but you like stuff like Game of Thrones or like dark fantasy, like the what's the fucking BioWare game I like, the computer game. Guys, help me out here.
Wait, BioWare computer
Dragon Age.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, if you like that kind of stuff, this fits right into that. Like, it's,
also the Dreamcast game slapped, if I recall.
That Dreamcast game was good. apparently there's a sequel to that on PlayStation 2 that was also awesome, but it never came out over here. I actually just watched the video about it. But anyway, that's all I watched. So watch Berserk. Berserk, The Golden Age, Arc 1 through 3. Also, I will say one thing I didn't like. They kind of threw me for a loop. So the first movie is only like an hour and 10 minutes long. So it's like, oh, these are going to be quick. And then they get progressively longer. The second movie is like an hour and a half. And then the third movie is almost 2 hours long. But like the thing is, to call them individual movies is really like, you can't like they really don't end the way like a movie ends. They literally,
it's like a 6 hour movie.
It's like a serialized thing because like they all end on cliffhangers to the next one.
It's like the Matrix sequels.
Well, yeah. But anyway, I really liked it. I would highly recommend it. It was a lot of fun to watch. And if you're into that kind of shit, like again, I would feel like if somebody wasn't into anime but liked stuff like Game of Thrones, I think this would be like right in. Also, the character designs are like, they're not like ultra cutesy, like super hyper anime girl kind of drawings. Like they're a little bit more grounded and realistic. Like I don't know, big fan. Highly recommend. Also, read the comics. I'm rereading the comics, and they're a blast. You read those comics in like 5 minutes too, because there's like no dialogue.
A Fist of the North Star comic.
Well, the first like 2 trades are legit just Fist of the North Star. Fucking Guts goes into town. There's some new big monster. He kills him. He walks out of town. That's it. They do that thing though that I hate that modern manga does, or it's not modern, but like in the last like 30 years. Where they translate it into English, but they don't reverse it like they used to. So you got to read it right to left, and that shit fucks me up. It takes me like
I don't want to get too deep in the weeds. I know we got to talk about this dumb movie, but is it like was it like a magazine manga where it's like everything's like a 13-page chapter? You know what I mean? Or
yeah,
was it?
Yeah, it started out that way. I think like pretty much every like big manga starts out that way. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure. I mean, each volume is like around like 100 and so pages. Yeah. So, those are good too. If you want to drop the $300 for the trades, but you can also an easy Google search with Berserk CBZ. You will find pretty much anything you need pretty fast. But anyway, that's all I watched. Gogs, you haven't gone yet, have you?
No, I've not.
What did you watch?
I watched 1.5 things.
Oh shit!
I watched all of a Saw movie, and I had to remember which one. It turned out it was 5, and I think I'd already seen it.
Yeah, I think we watched that one on the show, didn't we?
Which one is that?
There's a cop. That's the one where the guy who's not big time from The Crow. What's his name? He's got a Greek name. His name's like Kostas Stantilopoulos or some shit, but he's the cop that takes on like
Elias Koteas.
No, the other one. He takes on.
I know who you're talking about because he was in that Cosmic Sin movie we watched.
Oh no!
I think that's correct. Yeah.
Oh no!
This is let me look up Saw 5. This is the one where like his name Kostas Mandalore.
Yeah,
that is the name.
That's his real name.
That's his real name. It's like he's taking on Jigsaw. It's like it's him. It's his internship with Jigsaw, and it's just dumb. And it's just a Saw movie. I wanted to stumble. Which one's the one? I don't think I watched the one that you guys, the fun one you guys watched. Which one's that?
Oh, that's 3D. That's 6.
6. Yeah, 6.
Okay.
Is the one you watched the one that revolves loosely around health insurance?
No. Oh, yeah. No, like not health insurance, but like I guess his wife, Jigsaw's wife, needs to collect life insurance, and then there's like these 5 people. There was a land scheme deal that for developers somehow got into it, and there was like. It opens with everyone chained to a wall with wires, and then like if they don't do it fast enough, it's gonna pull them back onto a blade and decapitate them. And the whole crux of it is they should have worked together the entire time and they would have lived, but since they're a bunch of individual pricks, they didn't. And so so goes it. It's weird. The whole Saw oeuvre where it's, they're trying to basically make Jigsaw the good guy is just such a strange take.
Yes, that shit they did with Hannibal in like the later Hannibal movies. But I think we talked about on this show, they're stretching like the cardinal sin of like that guy smokes. You know what I mean?
So then,
and one of them, like the guy was a janitor. And he's like, you didn't stop the corporation.
Yeah, you didn't put up a slippery when wet sign, and now we're gonna cut off your testicles. All right. So then the other thing I watched, I gotta finish the rest of it. I started watching because I'd never seen it before. Nicholas Winding Refn's Neon Demon.
Oh wow! You started watching Neon Demon.
I started watching Neon Demon.
That seems like a terrible movie to like stop and start.
Yeah,
it probably will be. I kept getting interrupted, but it's.
What time of day did you watch the movie?
Like I started trying to watch it like midday, and then stuff came up, and I was like, it became a whole thing. I
was gonna say, don't watch it at night because you're gonna wake everybody in the fucking house up.
It's very loud.
It's like like I was saying, I'm literally at the halfway mark on this thing. Like Keanu Reeves is doing something. I can't tell if these people are vampires or if they're just a heavy-handed metaphor.
It is the least thinly veiled metaphor ever. Okay. They're not literal vampires; they are metaphorical vampires.
Okay, and it's got it's another movie where you get a surprise performance by Pollux Troy out of nowhere.
Hell yeah!
Which is fun. I don't know what I think about it yet. It's certainly something's happening in it.
I haven't even gotten to the good part yet. Yeah, I mean,
so you watched half of it. So what's your half feelings about it?
My half feelings, what I've seen so far, I'm curious about, but it's not. I don't know where it feels up its own ass at this point. So I want to see what the payoff is because right now I'm just kind of like,
I don't want to bury the lead for you, but it's mocking the fashion industry, so the entire movie's kind of up its own ass.
Oh yeah, no, I kind of felt that. Like it's very like it's like this is why art sucks. This is why fashion is stupid. Like this is why it's completely just objectification and just you're only worth what you're worth right now, and your past doesn't matter.
I can't remember. Have you gotten to the Daft Punk Jupiter and Beyond the Infinite scene yet?
Is that with all the triangles? He fucking loves triangles. Yeah. It's basically like a transformation scene where she goes from like sweet lady to just kissing herself in like a parallel dimension. And now she's kind of a bitch.
Yeah.
That scene rocks.
It's got terrible as Jenna Malone though.
Oh. And it's got the dag from Mad Max in it. I thought she was gonna like off herself, but she just smashed that window or she smashed that mirror and then sucked that bloody hand. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. I thought that was going to be the turn. I thought that was going to be.
Oh, you're not the only person to think that is supposed to be like a closet vampire movie, which it is 100% not.
Yeah, and then it just got like fucking Keanu just being a scumbag, like trying to like pimp out some 13-year-old girl that's living in his sleazeball motel. Like it's. I mean, I get all of the. It's very. Much like He Got Game, it is very. Here's the points we're trying to make.
Well, you're doing better than most of the people that reviewed the movie because they're like trying to assign all this like super deep meaning to it, and it is to misquote you, a mile wide and an inch deep. Like it is not a deep movie at all.
I mean, it's a superficial movie about superficial things.
Yeah, which kind of works, right? Okay, so I just want to see it. I'll see it through to the end. It's visually stunning. I'll give him that. The man knows how to make, and it makes me want to revisit like Drive. I don't think I ever want to revisit Only God Forgives. I do want to revisit.
I still think that's his best movie.
You need to watch his early stuff. You need to watch Pusher.
I've never seen Pusher. I've seen Valhalla Rising. I want to rewatch that.
Yeah, that movie rocks.
Does Pusher have Chris Evans?
No, that's a Jumper.
No, that's
Push. Push. It's just called Push.
Oh, yeah. Push was that like failed.
It was like a backdoor X-Men movie.
It was an X-Men script. It was an X-Men script that they got rejected, and then they made it.
Was it literally an X-Men script? Like for real? Okay.
It was little known fact: half the X-Men are backdoor X-Men.
Yeah.
It was in the Bryan Singer movie. They're all backdoor X-Men.
Just real quick, because me and Alec, we were talking about this before we started recording. we were going through Plex and all the weird like Plex shit. So I watched 10 minutes of the X-Men anime. It's on Netflix too.
Anime?
That shit's awesome. The first 10 minutes was fucking badass. I didn't finish it because it was like right before we started, but it was awesome.
Is it subtitled or dubbed?
It was in English.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they went through like a year and a half where they went ape shit with anime, like a Spider-Man manga and like, American. And then they brought, you remember when that Chuck Austin, that terrible X-Men run he did where they brought in that one manga artist, everybody had like those pointy noses and shit?
I fucking remember. Yeah, and they also got that awful liquid coloring or whatever it was called.
Was that Uncanny where they had that was
Uncanny.
The mutant prostitute.
Yeah, Stacy X.
And that
shit was terrible.
They were laying the foundations for Angel banging Sam Guthrie's underage sister.
Yeah.
Yes.
In midair in front of her family.
Yes.
Yeah, they're all cool with it though.
That was also like it was right around the same time they were like, we're gonna make Juggernaut a good guy, which I thought was stupid as hell.
It's funny because I just started picking up comic books again around that time because that was during the Morrison run as well on New. So I was reading both of those books at the same time, and it was like there was a very different level of quality.
I believe they also brought that character in that was from Mike Allred's Ecstatic Dupe. I think it was his name.
That was later on. Yeah.
Is that,
yeah.
Anyway, all right.
Ecstatic is a good book though.
Dead Girl is even better. Yeah. That shit was great.
Oh, I also got sucked into a weird like hole of watching. Watching this reality show on Netflix called The Circle, which I hate, but for some reason now I'm watching it. It's like this weird social media like reality show experiment, and it's like it's infuriating, but it's like a train wreck, and I can't stop looking away.
What do they do? Why is it
so they
Circle?
put everybody in a fucking apartment building, and you can't meet each other, right? And the idea is that all of your interactions are through like text messaging and through like a profile, and you can either be yourself or catfish everybody. And then like it's like a Survivor, make it through to the end, like I don't know, win over hearts and minds or deceive everybody sort of thing. But it's like all done in like text speak, and they're like speaking with hashtags and emojis, and I feel like an old man and I hate it. But like there's an aspect of it that I think would make a fun horror movie where like there's like, so when you get voted off of this show, right, you're allowed to visit, you don't meet anyone in person, right, because they can be catfishing each other or pretending to be something else. So when you leave, you can go visit anyone else's apartment to say goodbye. I was like, if this was like a horror movie, whoever got voted off would like go to their apartment, kill them, and then catfishes them for the rest of the game. Like that would be sort of an interesting way to make this not as terrible, but it's just these people are the worst. It's
I
just
feel like you'd have a hard time like producing a reality show with actual murders in it.
Well, yeah, you couldn't actually murder them, but like but these people are just like they're just like the worst. They're just the worst. They're just
always are reality.
But like every reality like show star is the worst. But these people are like the condensed. Like take the worst aspects of those people and then just juice it and then put it in like a human mold.
It's like Instagram influencers and TikTok shit, like
right, and it's it's all these wannabe. It's awful. But now I'm somehow invested in it, so I'm going to see this thing. This is my new Southland Tales. I'm just going to stick with it, and then
you got to get the graphic novels.
It'll just I'll get the graphic novels of The Circle, and I'll just die with this knowledge.
When you said The Circle, I was thinking, you remember I think we saw the trailer a couple times.
The Tom Hanks, Emma Watson?
Yeah, that movie came out. It came and gone in like 2 seconds. No, I don't think anyone saw that movie.
That was like a Google movie though, right? Or a Facebook
like
movie?
evil Google.
Yeah.
So just Google.
Yeah,
right.
But I mean, like, it was more like cartoonishly. Well, I don't know, man. Like, I'm running out. Yeah, it's just Google.
It's got a silly cast. And Emma Watson, Tom Hanks, Karen Gillan, John Boyega, Bill Paxton, Patton Oswalt. Like, it's got a dumb cast on it. Was it who made it?
I don't know.
Who made it? Some studio.
No, but I mean, like, who directed? I didn't know. I thought the director might be like to get all these people.
Probably Tom Hanks.
It's not some other. It's this guy,
Sir Brett Ratner.
No, some guy I never heard of. His name's James Ponsoldt. I never heard of him. Anyway,
He was on the
James
Epstein.
Pond, Operation RoboCod.
He was on the Epstein flight logs. All right, let's get into the movie.
I picked it, so I'll explain it.
Go ahead.
So, Kevin Bacon works for the greatest college basketball coach of all time, statistically, apparently. Like, he's got 7 championships. He's got like a stupid win percentage. He's also just one of the board members of
This movie, I think, leads you to believe that it takes place in New York City, which is already bizarre. This college is in New York City because, like, St. John's has never been a basketball power. Like, it's weird where they went with it already.
Yeah. Yeah, and this super coach is played by one of the board members of Callahan Auto, who sent Tommy on his mission to go sell brake pads. So, Kevin Bacon doesn't want to put up with anyone's guff. They brought some, 11-foot tall potential power forward from
that guy. I posted a thing on Facebook. I don't think you saw it. He's in like 19 basketball movies, playing like white basketball.
Was he in Hoosiers?
I don't think he's that old. He was in Blue Chips though.
Okay, so
he's also in Space Jam, the first one.
So he's getting like
I could see him being the mocap for that tall monster Frankenstein one.
Yeah.
He has the kind of like the overhanging brow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they go here and there's a scumbag who's bald with a ponytail. He's got that kind of look to him, and he's like talking up this guy, and then Kevin.
Well, him and Bacon are assistant coaches. They are co-assistant coaches on this team.
So they're one is the sizzle and one is the steak, you're led to believe, and Kevin Bacon doesn't like the fact that this guy is coming in with all this hubris, so he like shakes and bakes him on his Mad Max knees and breaks him down, and then the kid decides to sign with Duke or some shit.
Okay, I feel like we're missing like a big chunk of. So the kid asks him to.
He guarantees 10. He wants 10 starts.
Yeah, he wants them to commit to recruiting violations, which is not at all how this works. They always use intermediaries. They don't just show up and agree to this shit in front of people like that.
He wants. What does he say?
He wants 10 primetime game starts.
Well, yeah, but that's the stuff that people actually ask for.
Yeah.
Did he ask for?
He's like, I want like,
he
wants like $50,000. He wants a Saab convertible because that's what Isaiah Thomas drives. Or something.
No, Isaiah had a Porsche or something because I forget who the first person was, and then Bacon's like, "Oh, you want a Porsche 911?" That's what Isaiah's got, some shit like that. But yeah.
This guy is legit just asking for straight up like cash.
Right.
So yeah, I guess I don't forget if they say he was the number one prospect. He's Jesus
2.
Shuttlesworth. Yeah, okay.
And then he's like the number 2 power forward. But the thing that makes no sense is that Kevin Bacon has to show ass and beat him 1-on-1, which whatever, fine. But then he goes back and he's like, "Oh, you're just mad because I don't play by the rules." I'm like, "No, you're playing too much by the rules because you didn't want to give this guy the money." Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
I had to look it up. I assumed Kevin Bacon was very short, but he's 5'10". But I still have a hard time believing Kevin Bacon is going to just rule ass on this monster man. Like,
no, right?
Like I don't know.
So Kevin Bacon. So then it comes out that Kevin Bacon was the point guard, I guess, for this Ultra team back in the day. Won a national championship with him. Blew out his knee as a result, and so he's sort of got this like. He's got this chip on his shoulder, like, he could have gone pro, but he gave it all for the college, and he feels like the college is slighting him by not, respecting what he's doing for the college instead of just, like, enjoying this slime ball. So he goes to see Krzyzewski, and he's like, "Hey, man, I want, I didn't lose that guy. The guy was a scumbag. You didn't want him. It looks like the used car salesman's going to get the new head coaching job because Bobby Knight's going to retire next year." So they go to their big retirement dinner, or no, it's like a big announcement.
This shit
dinner.
is so fucking ridiculous. This is fucking. Honestly, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I'm gonna say it, dude.
Go.
This movie has the shakiest premise of any movie we've watched
dumb as
on
hell.
the show.
Yeah,
like I don't think I mean, maybe if we went through the annals of Movie the Podcast, we could find one that's shakier. But I think this is the worst setup to a plot that we've had in a movie.
Well, it's like I was telling you before we started.
He comes out on mushrooms looking like he's in fucking in a Irreversible or Under the Void or some shit at this retirement banquet and sees a film strip of someplace in Africa and sees a tall guy and busts a nut and like presumably ruins this whole event.
Yeah, like he's like 8 Tom Collins deep, and he wanders up on the stage to like eye fuck what's going on in the background of Father James McAvoy or whatever, reading to orphans in Africa, and he's like, that whatever's happening in the back, the Slender Man in the background is what we need for our team. So send me to wherever this guy, and he does like some weird. He gets the physics department involved because he's like the priest that was in the film used to play point guard and then knew how tall he was, and based on the angle of the sun, they figured that this guy's like 6'8" and he can move real well. So
you could just kind of look at the hoop and look at the guy and guesstimate if you've been in basketball for your entire life. You don't.
Yeah,
need
but
to
you don't know if it's a regulation hoop. Like you don't know
have
what's
to go.
going
All
on.
Apparently, they went to
hidden
the fucking
figures.
Yeah, apparently they went to the fucking back computer to figure this shit out.
Also,
Right,
can we talk about how Kevin Bacon has a haircut that no college basketball coach has ever had?
No,
He has like the evilest haircut. He's got the haircut of a fucking drug dealer. He's got the most aggressive haircut I've ever seen.
This is the haircut he has in Super.
he's got Christian Slater's haircut from Cuffs. Like he's like done up.
That's a good one.
So he's like, I need you to send me to there in Kenya, I believe.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that. He just says Africa.
Send me to Africa.
Yeah.
Which I want to get to this at the end. At the very end, when he does, spoiler alert, Saleh, the kid from Africa, joins the team, and they're like, representing Winabe, Africa. It's like, oh, okay. It's like saying Chicago, North America.
Yeah.
This is another movie where like screenwriters are confused that Africa is not a country; it is an entire continent.
Right. Several countries.
Yeah, and they're also like, I mean, he just shows up, has no clue where Winabe is or whatever, and he manages to get there. But like I said it to Alec while we were watching it, I'm like, I don't know if these writers realize how fucking big Africa is.
Yeah.
You know what? One of the main problems with this movie is now, like, and I'm sure there are more, but this, like, right off the breaks is that there's no stakes in anything he's doing, really, because he's like, I want to go to Africa. And they're like, no, you go to Iowa. Fucking dingus over here is going to go to Africa or whatever.
Well, they were going to send anyone to Africa. They were just going to send him to. They were just shit canning him to go look at some like tier 3 tournament.
And he's like, whatever. I'm just going to do it anyway. And you never like. There's never any like push and pull with like. You never really feel like the other guy's going to get the job because you have no idea what's going on in fucking New York City.
Well, it's also it's also fun. It's fun in the 1994 when an airline ticket had value, you could sell it, and anyone else could get on the plane. Like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll just go back to New York, no big deal. So he's like, I'm not going to go to Idaho. I'm going to fuck off and go to Kenya and find this kid. So he does. And he flies down there, presumably goes to, I don't know, Nairobi or wherever, and gets on a bus to try and find Winabe. And then on the bus, he gets kind of like, dragged a little bit as everybody's like, look at this idiot. And also, let's talk shit on Winabe because it's just a bunch. What's this movie? We'll get there eventually, but this movie, it turns into Kingpin at some point.
Yeah, I was just going to say that like a couple minutes ago, and I forgot. Yeah, it's the same fucking movie.
It's the exact same film. So now, all these other fellas, all these other Kenyans are like, oh, Wanabe's a bunch of pig fuckers, and like actually they say goat fuckers, and they The changing the milking the cow joke was actually pretty funny. I like
it's
that
good.
one.
Like apparently, like this is like this tiny village that probably nobody knows about except for the people that live there is such a renowned shithole that there's a whole like song and dance that everybody knows.
Yeah,
it's like the fucking what is Springfield Billy?
yeah. They're just dunking on these poor folks now. Yeah. They show up in this literally.
Nice pun.
You show up in this other town whose name escapes me, and you meet basically this town's version of a villain from a 1990s ski movie because he wants to buy up everything. Magori, something like that.
Well, that's the name of the mining company, right? But
Mingori.
Yeah, Mingori. Pause. 100% this mining company would be owned by the Dutch or something. It would just be like
it'd be owned by fucking Elon Musk's family. Come on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it'd be China if we made it right now, but.
So you meet the big bad, and he's like, "Look, I've got my own team." And then this is where the movie starts doing its 90s like we're trying to be woke, but now we're going to be racist by being
real
woke.
quick before you get deeper into this, can we talk about how I texted TJ at this point and go, did QVC ship shit to Kenya in 1994?
Yeah, right. Yeah, like, the whole movie's trying to do this thing where it's like we're not much different than each other. Look, we've got satellite TV, we've got basketball. We're not, it's like trying to highlight all these things, but it's still doing it in sort of a real racist, weird way, just by modern optics. And then the whole movie just becomes a white savior thing.
It's insane because they speak, most people, like plot dependent, speak perfect English, but they still say like Nuba instead of NBA, which is like watching, they've heard NBA 9 million times. Like it doesn't make any fucking sense.
So that's dumb. So then everybody's like, why do you want to go to an Abe? Or you want to steal all their copper? And then there's this one guy who's kind of like shady, like, don't go there. And you're like, oh, he'll be plot dependent. This is Chekhov's this fella. And then
Chekhov's African.
This actual Chekhov. This is what you call him, Chekhov. So then he worked his way. There's a real weird scene where he's like filming just out in the he's just fuck off wandering. Go ahead.
Real quick. That scene, like, why, like, they like could not figure out like what to do to get him to the town. Like it literally just, he's lost. Then it turns into the Blair Witch for 5 minutes, and then like
he's kind of like losing his mind. Like he's doing color commentary on a bunch of giraffes running by. Like he's like kind of lost it.
Well, I think it's two things. I think one, it's like we're spending all this money to go to Africa. You better shoot some Africa shit in this movie. And the other one probably is like this movie's kind of short, so I think there's a couple scenes in there that are just to get it to feature length.
Just filler.
Dude, it's so weird.
Like him climbing the mountain at the end.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah. Like that was
just real time.
Yeah.
And tonally, that just didn't make any sense.
Also, I know we're jumping all over the place, but like in the stakes of them, they need this guy, right?
So why would you make him do this?
Yeah,
and then cut his penis off.
Yeah, just cut his penis. Like, don't make him do the mountain
cut his dick off and do. Yeah, right. He's already traveled here. So he ends up running into two outrunners from this town, and they're like, hey. He's like, can you take me there? Like, he's like trying to like barter with them. He's like begging and pleading to take him to Wanabe. And he gives up all his stuff and he gets there. And then the big button on that joke is they spoke English the entire time.
The Crocodile Dundee joke.
He gets there. He meets a priest who could not give a fuck less. He meets a nun who doesn't care about any of her vows.
The nun who only wears her habit in this one scene and then never again in the entire movie.
Whoopi Goldberg in Sister Act is more pious than this lady.
This woman is meant to be a love interest, but they don't know how to get around the nun thing. Like they're like,
she kisses him at the end, and it's like, what?
And it's
sister, you're allowed to finger bang.
Only when I'm implied that she jacks him off. Like it's like, what are we doing here? So,
but it's like such an easy out is just be like, just make her a nurse. She doesn't have to be a nun. Yeah,
just a Doctors Without Borders or something.
But she is both.
Greenpeace or some bullshit.
Yeah. If these people were whales, that would make sense.
Bees.
D's without bees. DWBs. So now
driving while blacks.
Yeah. So we're driving. Ooh, spicy. So now we're driving. We're here. We meet Saleh. He fakes like he's no good at basketball, but shocker, he's good at basketball. You find out he's the prince of this place.
I'm gonna say this cat gives maybe the best performance in the movie. He's actually really solid for what they're doing.
He's got presence and integrity. Like he's doing good. Like this I think is his only. I think this was supposed to be the launch pad of his acting, but I don't think he's done much sense.
Basketball.
Well, I think it is basketball. I think Alex right because they had Bob Cousy, like Celtics great Bob Cousy was the basketball consultant on this movie and actually got him into some like Division II college in North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The only things he did was this and one episode of Sequest 2032.
Hell yeah!
So
was he the
really
dolphin?
didn't? No, he was Professor Obatu.
Yeah.
I mean, dude is 6'10". He is a big boy.
Also, real quick before I forget, the main basketball villain, the big guy, is one of Dikembe Mutombo's brothers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. So now, like the middle of the movie is just fish out of water.
This
/ Kingpin / It's like I was telling before the show started. I was telling TJ, I was like, this movie's got like so little going on. It would have to be like based on a true story, but it's not. Like because there's
it's
just
Kingpin meets Sean Connery's Medicine Man.
yeah, and it's a little bit of Witness maybe. Like it's just like
This is one of those movies that's all middle. It's all middle. The whole movie is middle. Like
so then yeah, it's just him. It's him helping with the herd. It's him just observing their customs. It's him just trying to fit in and like having. At some point, he has a fight with a nun that's out of like left fucking field, and then he's shitting his pants because he chugged a bunch of goat milk.
Also,
that was my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah,
I still don't understand
the most relatable part. Him
trying
to talk to somebody while also having uncontrollable diarrhea and having to hold it in to finish the conversation.
They call it diarrhea, but it's a lot less pleasant than it sounds.
At some point, he almost gets Robert. At some point, he almost gets Robert Baratheon, but then somebody saves his ass.
There's also a joke
while he's diarrheaing.
Yeah, while he's diarrheaing, he almost gets Robert Baratheon, and then like the Soleil's like bodyguard like spears dead this warthog, and that's a moment.
And he tries to shake his hand while his own hand is covered
in shit. Yeah. There's a bunch of stuff I wrote down about the third act because that's when things started to kind of go off the rails more so.
Oh, real quick, there's a joke in here I genuinely didn't get. I was hoping one of you guys got, where they're like, he's like, you know what the tribesmen call you behind your back? The Lemon Nun. What the fuck does that mean?
I have no idea.
Okay,
and when did he?
He's a sour bitch.
She got that sour puss.
Gotcha.
Sour bitch.
Also,
Come
like,
over here, sour bitch.
I'm like somewhat confused as to like the fucking I guess the current day savvy of the Wanabi tribe, because like they speak English and they're like they seem to understand like modern concepts, but they're also trading spears and goats. Like it's like it's just,
also literally hang out around goats shitting and like they don't really think anything of it.
Like their elder council is happening in a barn. Like
right, but they got bucket hats. Like it feels very like stock Africa village. You know what I mean? Like,
they're
just
1,000%. Yeah.
Like there's zero research.
There's some line where Kevin Bacon starts his white saviorness by buying a bunch of cows because Minori or whatever wants to take over the land because it's rich with copper and they want to take it over and exploit it for copper resources. Which that's exactly what happens in Africa all the time.
Yeah.
At some point, Kevin Bacon sells all of his gear, buys a bunch of cows, and he uses the line, a gift my tribe to your tribe, a gift from my tribe to your tribe, which felt a little weird. Then there's a weird wedding ceremony that turns into Midsummer for half a second. Yeah.
When the sister comes in to heal him / fuck him in the middle of the
she
night,
is fucking the hell out of him.
Why is she the only one in that family that doesn't speak or understand English? Because the mother obviously understands it because she makes a joke to the father. The father speaks English. Sala speaks English. She is totally left out of the loop.
Yeah, but she's just like, I fucking this bum. Like she's
didn't you read that scene that way, that she was trying to fuck him?
Oh, without a joke. Yeah, like it was very thirsty. It was weird. And it's just like the whole thing is like built up around how amazing Kevin Bacon is. Like this whole movie is about how tremendous he is.
Yeah.
In some way, shape, or form. Like at the end of the day, like after they win after they win the game, they don't hoist Saleh up on their shoulders or the brother that comes back. They hoist Kevin Bacon up on their shoulders. Like, thank you for saving.
Well, so again, he's been there for a week. He's already part of the tribe. It's like that fucking. Did you ever see Undercover Brother?
Yeah.
Where he's like, "You cool? You're in." He's like, "He's in." I had to go to fucking spy school and sleep on a pissy mattress. Like everybody becomes black by the end of the movie after doing nothing.
I love that movie.
That movie fucking slaps. I do.
I haven't seen it in a long time. I don't know if I want to see it and have it ruined if it's not as funny. That shit with Neil Patrick Harris.
I am not a sissy!
Yeah. I am not a sissy! As he rips the guy's spine out. Oh, so good.
The movie rules.
So here's some more notes. So the movie just keeps happening.
We should have watched that.
We should have watched that. At some point, this line is an actual line from the movie because I had to write it down. It says, "I've seen you guys throw spears. It's the same thing." I was like,
yeah.
But he literally has.
Yeah.
That did happen. Do any of your notes include the scene from the fucking Road Warrior that happens in the middle of this movie?
Yeah, like all of a sudden everybody just like
out of place.
Mingori is like, all right, in the middle of they show up in the middle of Don Corleone's daughter's wedding and decide to burn the place to the fucking. They try to burn the place to the fucking ground, and because these guys are just getting skull dragged by this fucking mining corporation, so they're gonna pack up and leave.
People are legit getting murdered in this family. I think Disney produced a movie.
So I'm glad you brought that up. What is this fucking movie? Because like Alec said last week, I assumed that this was like a kids movie. Mm-hmm. But like I would say that it's not a kids movie. I don't think it's a comedy. It's not.
It wants to be a comedy.
It's a marginal comedy.
Once again, this movie feels like a based on a true story movie because it never leans into any genre. And it's not good at any of it.
Is this supposed to be like a family-friendly drama?
It's not.
It doesn't feel like it is.
It's not.
Well, you also got to remember, 1994, like family movies weren't like family movies.
That's a good point. Shit got wild.
Yeah, that's true.
This scene is like intense, comparative to the rest of the movie.
Yeah, there's a goddamn little kid that almost gets like freaking rolled over by a motorcycle.
Well, the scene it opens with some guy like tripping on acid, like losing his mind. He gets his dick cut off, then he gets to marry the headman's daughter, and then the fucking road rash shows up and just burns the place to the goddamn ground.
Where's my new road rash game? That's what I want to know.
So there's a bunch of weird stuff like. Jimmy goes from being overly positive to giving up on the drop of a dime. Like it's just like
he's like, I'm going home.
I'm fucking him out. And then
what?
And then they presumably I think they were saying that between the Wanabe and Mingori, this feud or whatever has been going on for years, if not decades. Like this is an ongoing thing. And then they're going to settle it over a game of basketball because Kevin Bacon's in town.
Yeah, 100% chance the minute Kevin Bacon leaves, they're back there and just slaughtering
it's just
everybody.
a case. It's going to turn into Hotel Rwanda as soon as he leaves.
Now that's a good movie.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that movie rules.
Actually, both of those movies are good. Hotel Rwanda and Beast of No Nation. Both.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad times as soon as he leaves. It's not gonna be. We're not gonna honor those bogus treaties. It's not happening.
You know what's insane is that they're giving him all this shit because he sees a film strip, wants to go to Africa, and he basically sends them the same film strip of the kid playing, and then they're like, cool, and then he goes to Africa in the middle of the season. The coach?
No. It was before the season started. Because that retirement dinner, it wasn't a retirement dinner.
It was announcing retire at the end of the season.
No, that was I think getting ready. It was the winter. I don't know when it was temporally. Now I don't know.
The winter is when the season starts,
right? So maybe it was the beginning of the season. Doesn't matter.
So half the coach, 2/3 of the coaching staff is in fucking bumfuck Kenya.
Yeah.
If you said, if Mike Krzyzewski's like, fuck this, I'm going to China.
Yeah, he just heads. That's right. Because he shows up. He shows up
hang
at
out
the
with
end.
John Cena.
He shows up at the end
that fucking video killed me.
The ones in it, the ice cream one.
Yeah.
There's also some weird stuff. There's flashbacks to things that no one ever said. There's at some point, they're like, all right, we got to have this. Now that we've settled on this basketball game to settle our ancestral differences, we're going to need you to join the tribe so we can get around whatever sort of laws and loopholes govern this basketball game.
He has to be sworn into this family because nobody can dribble the ball up the court. Yeah. Somehow, nobody can bring it in from the inbounds, which is also insane. But the amount of work that they put into this fucking basketball court that I presume they built, because the only basketball court we see before that is in the Mingori warehouse.
Yeah.
With that fucking clock that's the size of my house that they made.
Wasn't it odd that they didn't just have it in the indoor court that was already built? Yeah. I thought that was kind of strange.
Also, weird that Salah's father shoots a TV and then looks at a gun like it's from fucking The Gods Must Be Crazy or something. He has no concept of what just happened.
Yeah, it's weird.
So where did he get a gun?
I mean, there's guns. I guess he just acquired said he maybe went to the pawn shop and got a gun. There's a pawn shop.
Yeah,
Jimmy Dolan traded it to him for his son.
Yeah, Jimmy. It's Jimmy Dolan's traveling gun because it's pre 9/11, so you can do whatever you
can
want.
do shit like that.
So Jimmy Dolan has to free solo this mountain, and like the game's tomorrow, right? Like, so let's keep this in mind. You need to be the point guard, so you have to go free solo this mountain tomorrow. Okay,
on one leg.
On one leg, fine. He goes up to the top of this bitch. He almost falls off 6 times. He takes his championship ring and yeets it over the side. I don't know how the fuck he gets down, but when he gets down, he is fucked up on mushrooms. They take him into the fucking the center hall and they cut his dick off. Now, here's the thing. So I've had 2 children that have been circumcised, and it takes a while to heal from that, and they're children. There is no way you're crossing people up the next day.
Well, they
it's
probably
not
put that
happening.
mix of oatmeal and cow shit or whatever the shit.
He's going to get a UTI. You can't do that.
Well, like, they're just giving him a slice in the mons pubis, right? Is that what I'm to understand is going on?
I thought he pulled his pants out and showed him the tip of his dick.
I'm pretty sure that
they just cut his stomach. They show the cut.
This cut is like supposed to be representative of circumcision.
Yeah.
But in this kids movie, they're not
showing the dick.
Say that they got circumcised.
Okay,
like, they just have to have a moil show up and
yeah. Because the other dude that got cut, he got like it was like between his like hip and his like groin. They like jammed the knife in there. It wasn't like just swiping the tip off.
Yeah. So, well, anyway, then the next thing you see is Kevin Bacon in full war paint, like in like the most problematic thing in the movie yet.
Where they paint their numbers on them, like they don't understand the concept of T-shirts.
We skipped to him climbing the mountain, didn't we?
No, we talked about that.
We just talked about that.
Sorry, basement rules.
So then again, 0% chance you're crossing people up the day after your circumcision. Mike Krasuski shows up. His knee, then he blows out his knee, but then it comes back. It's like his knee healed quicker than his dick.
Why do they only give him the tennis shoes at halftime?
Well, hold on.
Because is that when the coach showed up?
We missed one. We missed a part that I thought was fucking stupid. So, or maybe we haven't yet. I could be wrong. Kevin Bacon blows out his knee, so they bring in the girl. That was like a big deal because like earlier in the movie they're like, oh, a girl can't play or whatever,
right?
And then like a woman, she gets her emotions take control of her and she gets ejected from the game. So I don't know what you're trying to tell me, movie.
After she gets fucking fondled for half an hour,
They say like 5 times in the movie, like, hey, that guy's got tits.
Yeah, it's great.
Welcome to Jordan Peterson's The Era. There.
You know, women just wear rouge to stimulate the sexual response.
Yeah,
but anyway, so hold on real quick. So you got Kevin Bacon goes out, the savior point guard comes in, which is which is the girl.
Yeah.
Then she goes out.
Yeah.
Then they get the shoes, which is the savior, and then Kevin Bacon comes back in.
Yeah.
Then you get the savior brother that comes in. It's like, guys, you're repeating this beat like 5 times in 10 minutes. Like, goddamn.
Right. Like, so Kevin Bacon's in, he's out, he's out. At some point, the Mingori folks are like, they ordered one of their guys to do what was my job in rec basketball, which was to take out the point guard, like physically,
they
and hurt them.
Him.
Yeah, I gooned him. I was a goon. So they sent, I swept kicked a kid one time.
Nice.
Now Kevin Bacon's out. So now Soleil's brother, who had been ejected from the town because he wanted to deal with Mingori and has been relegated to being the driver of the bad guy, gets out of the car. He gets to be reinvested into the family, and they're like, he's going to be the new point guard. Because he's also good at basketball. And then they end up they very slowly come back from a 14-point deficit to win in extra innings or whatever. And then at some point...
Extra innings.
Oh, I did write this down. So I loved that the referees were just like, I guess, either the military police and they were wearing referee garb under their military police garb. And I love that the halves were called by gunshot. We need to bring that into America.
100%. This whole area is under military junta control. Like,
at some point, somebody calls somebody a flat nose, which seemed real problematic as well.
Yeah, in a movie full of problematic things, that was the most problematic.
Yep. They're still betting goats.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Like that sounds horrendous.
There's so they win the game. They hoist Kevin Bacon up on the shoulders, even though he really didn't do. He was the white guy who made it all happen, I guess.
Yeah. He's the guy that nearly got them destroyed and then got them out of the problem he created.
Right, but good on you. That's vertical integration, baby. That's how you do it.
There was a part earlier where the nun is like yelling at Kevin Bacon for like making the bet, and it's like he was trying to get them out of the bet. He told them not to make the bet. Why the hell are you mad at him?
It's all she jacks him off later, and then they go back.
Her function is to be a shrew. That is her whole. Because she's barely in the movie.
She's the Lemon Knight or whatever.
Yeah. So before
the Lemon Knight,
she's her lemon grab.
Unacceptable.
So before they go back to St. John's College or wherever they are, everyone settles up their goats and spears bets because that's also problematic.
Yeah.
And then you get announced that Saleh Winatamba from Winabe, Africa, gets to get into the starting lineup against, I don't know, let's just say the Tar Heels. And then the last thing I wrote is, where's the 17 years later sequel where you can bring back Kevin Bacon as the head coach of this group, and he has to go back to another country to recruit someone again? It's like, oh, here we go again, and then we're done. I do have a question, since this movie is This movie is super white savoury, right? Like very. Is it less?
Entire point of the movie.
Is it less problematic if Kevin Bacon's character would be black?
They wouldn't have made a movie starring a black guy in 1994.
But is it still as imperialistic? Is it still just like the West needs to save you?
It's still like the NCAA, like it's still the whole system. You know what I mean? Like it's exploitation no matter what.
That's what it is. This is that 90s like woke exploitation that they thought they were doing something good, but they really weren't.
Well, yeah, because it's like the whole implication of that. Like it's like we're going to take him to school and civilize him. We have to.
We're doing good.
Also, like the idea that they're going to take this kid who's lived in the jungle all his life and he's just going to go get an education in college,
he's missing 12 years of formal education.
No, wait, they addressed that.
To base it on.
Did they really?
Address that in the movie? Yeah, because dinner they say that they basically have a high school education, and that's part of this mission that they're doing.
The nun goes, "What are you worried if he can get into St. Joe's or whatever?"
I missed that. I don't know.
Also, the cheerleaders are called the cowbells, which is mentioned 6 or 7 times for literally no reason.
Yeah, shake them cowbells. I think it's a whole thing.
How come when Kevin Bacon plays against the kid at the beginning, the kid is wearing his uniform for the university that he has not committed to?
Yeah, that kind of fucked me up for a second. I was like, I couldn't place
Kevin
that
Bacon
for a minute.
is wearing slacks and like an undershirt.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
So, like, it's crazy that the Scout does a better job of, like, exploiting someone, taking them away from their home when it's a goofy movie about a white ball player in Mexico. You know what I mean? Like, that movie has more gravitas somehow than this movie does.
Well, this movie just doesn't do anything all the way, and it's just it's just bland. It's so bland.
It's very bland. Well, it's so bland, I didn't even know what genre of movie this is.
Right, like it's undefinable as a film.
It's like this is like a movie that you would watch on an airplane, or a movie that you would watch waiting for your oil to be changed to Jiffy Lube. Like, it's just on. Like, I don't know what the fuck.
We'll return to the air up there.
It's like half a story idea, and they just sort of took it all the way. Like,
this guy, I think Alec. Did you already say this in the show, Alec? I don't know.
He texted us that he directed The Running Man.
Yeah, this guy directed The Running Man, for God's sakes. That movie
slaps.
And Kazam.
And Kazam, which also rocks.
Different kind of
Kazam rock? I've never seen Kazam. Is Kazam
It's just
good?
crazy that, like, I hate, and maybe it's just because we're all, to one extent or another, like, pretty big sports fans. I hate it when they make sports movies and they know almost nothing about the sport.
Yeah,
it reeks of inauthenticity, you know?
It's like me making a sports movie.
You would know more about the college basketball system than this guy did.
I don't give me that much credit.
Or
This
even
is my
if you
good
did-
friend.
Like, if this is your job, do like a fucking week of research,
Or like call Alec or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Alec, how many points make a game?
First 1 to 10.
Oh shit. Okay, that's it.
I was telling Alec watching this that one time I had to explain to a girl I was on a date with that they don't call periods quarters in hockey because there's only 3 of them, and she looked at me like she didn't understand what I was saying. I was like, this isn't going to work out.
Nope.
I had a girl that I was going out with that thought Robert Kennedy was a football player, and that's why they named the stadium after him.
Oh,
Yeah, but
boy.
that's just true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, RFK probably played a little bit of ball, a little college ball.
Well, Rosie Greer
right.
did almost
Yeah, right.
save him from getting executed in that hotel, so potato.
Yeah,
Right.
true. Anything else you want to talk about?
That's
this
the air
fucking
of
movie?
the. I mean, it is what it is.
It's so like fucking like Flanders nachos of a movie. Like it's not like,
It is. Yeah.
That's a great way to describe it.
it's like it's racist, but it's not like I thought it was gonna be like I don't want to use the term hysterically racist, but I thought it was going to be like a lot of like the gods must be crazy, a lot of clicking and like
Yeah,
people like staring at cameras and like going blind, that kind of shit. But it's
This
just
is
kind of like
it's unintentionally racist, and it's intentional. It's intentional in what it's doing, which
Yeah.
ends up being racist, but it's not being done for
it's just-
racist aims.
incredibly ignorant.
That's what it is. It's
You know
just
what I mean?
ignorant. Yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
it's 90s woke. It's just like, oh, we'll show them the right way of doing things. That's all it is. To your
Yeah.
point earlier, it's just like, oh, we'll just make them better.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon, like, you know, it's like, haha, you white fool. But, like, it's only, like, you know, because he's eating their gross food. You know what I mean? It's not like anything he does causes some kind of, like, real cultural misunderstanding because he's a dickhead.
Right.
It's like, haha, you got sick because you drank our shitty sour milk. Like, I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
it was what did they called it too? They called it like the Wanabe Trots or something.
Yeah.
They had a
Yeah.
name for it.
Yeah,
and
that's
he
what they
was gonna
called it,
shit
the
his
Wanabe
pants.
Trots.
Yeah, and then he tried to shake that guard's hand with his shitty hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the joke.
It was. It's a movie. It happened.
It did happen. All right, 5 knuckle shuffle time, gentlemen. Gogs, you picked it.
Five.
Yeah.
It's just it's like so like it's not offensive enough to make me angry, and it's not anything. It's nothing. It is wallpaper paste. It is just it happened. It's strange that it happened. It should have had more effect in any direction. It's not I didn't hate it. Obviously, I watched the whole thing. I wasn't particularly compelled by it. There was no emotional response whatsoever. I will agree, I think, to Sean or Alex's point that the guy who played Saleh was the best actor in the whole thing. It is what it is. It's just very much a product of its time. It's just run of the mill 90s schlock. And they tried to put an edgy for its time concept without being too edgy, and it's just blah. It's a 5. I will forget about this. Well, I'll say that I don't know if I'll forget about it just because it's also sort of like wackadoodle. It's just they didn't take it all the way. So
Yeah, I remembered that Buffalo line for a really long time.
That was the
Yeah.
only part of the movie I laughed. Only because you brought it up. I was like,
Yeah.
that shit was fucking funny. It's
Yeah,
like,
that was
Sean
funny.
remembered that dumbass joke. That, to me, was funny.
but
Yeah.
that's it for me. It's just it's nothing. It's whatever. Alec.
This movie's it's a 2. This movie sucked. This movie wants to be other movies of this time that are much, much better at doing something similar, a la Cool Runnings.
Yeah. Or King Kong.
The Jack Black one.
No, I don't think that had happened yet. but
It's
yeah.
interesting you bring up Cool
Yes.
Runnings because Cool Runnings is actually it's one of those movies that's based on a true story, which just feels like it wants to be, and it's a much more entertaining movie.
Well, I assume that the movie is a pastiche of what they assume Akeem Olajuwon and Dikembe Mutombo lived like before they got to America.
I guess.
But they didn't actually ask them or anything.
No.
They
It's
didn't bother. Yeah, they didn't bother.
0% chance.
the writer on this movie. Shit, what was his name?
He's like a playwright or something, right?
Max Apple.
Yeah.
Who wrote 3 things, and this
Three
is one of
things?
them. Yeah, this movie sucks. It's boring. Like, I feel like the basketball is better than the basketball in He Got Game, which is shocking considering He Got Game has, like, a legit potential Hall of Famer starring in it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mind the basketball scene at the end, aside from all the ridiculous, like, interruptions. I thought the basketball there was pretty good. And Saleh's brother, I wish he would have been on his team the whole time, because I just want to see him keep shooting jumpers all night long.
Yeah,
His jump shot was sweet.
with his perfect body.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, this movie sucks. Kevin Bacon sucks. Like, what's Kevin Bacon been in that's good?
Sleepers?
The Woodsman's,
The Woodsman's good. Sleepers is good.
Whatever
I
movies
like,
where he molests kids, he's good.
What's the
Yeah.
movie? I like Stir of Echoes. I remember liking
Stir of
that.
Echoes. really good.
Flatliners.
Doesn't hold up
No.
particularly well.
What's the one where he's murdering the first? I remember him being good in that.
Oh,
No, that
in
was
Tour
bad.
He was in Tour de Pharmacy. He was good in that.
He's in
I
Tremors.
didn't see that.
I think he played the young
Tremors.
version, and Dolph Lundgren played the old version of the same guy, maybe. But yeah, Kevin Bacon sucks. I'm looking through his filmography real quick, and like, I don't see anything I've liked really.
What about Footloose?
Come on.
No, I've never seen it. I
You
just
actually like
Footloose.
Footloose? Footloose is
I mean-
garbage.
But it's got
Yeah.
a great soundtrack.
Does it?
Does it?
Come on, you can't get mad. You can't get mad at K-Log. You can't.
It's one song.
But it's a good
Kenny
one.
Loggins works better as an Archer reference than he does as a musician.
Also, the Danger Zone is the clearly superior Kenny Loggins song, and that's not
Yeah.
even a question.
Apollo 13's good. I like that movie.
I guess
Fine.
Tremors.
I think Peggy Sue Got Married is fun.
Tremors.
But man, this movie sucked. I'm mad I watched it. I'm mad at Gogs for making me watch it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, 2. Who's left? TJ?
Yeah,
TJ.
me and Sean. He was in X-Men First Class. Oh yeah, he's the bad guy. in X-Men.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
fucking
he's
Sebastian Shaw.
I guess
Yeah,
that's a good movie. I really don't think
That's
I
a good
like.
one.
I don't remember liking him in it, but that movie's awesome.
He's not good. He's playing the same part in Super, and he's bad in that too.
Yeah, super sucks. Oh, he's in Cop Car. That's a cool movie. You ever
How the
seen
Man
that?
sucks.
Anyway, who'd you pick? Me or Sean?
You.
It's a, I don't know. It's a 3, I guess. The movie sucks. It's boring. It goes nowhere. It's not funny. It's not really anything. Sean said it earlier, and I think he hit the nail right on the head. There's like a number of scenes in this movie where it's like, you can tell they were just like stretching for time. I mean, they show him like ascending this fucking mountain for no fucking reason. Like, we as an audience don't need to, like, we just need to know he's going through trials to be on the tribe or whatever. That's all we need to know. We don't need to see all this bullshit, like he climbs up the mountain and then it rains, so then he has to like take a break and he questions himself for half a second and then he gets up there. And it's like, what was that for? Like,
Also, he could have lied. I thought you had to bring something back down with you. You could be like, yeah, I did it, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, this movie is like just a big nothing sandwich. Like, I don't understand, like, I don't even understand, like, why they made this movie. Like, again, the premise is stupid. It's not funny. It's not telling, like, this movie was never going to be, like, a Best Picture nominee. Like, I don't understand this.
I think,
Like-
honestly, the reason they made it probably is because you remember, like, Christian Okoye was starting to get popular, like, around this time, a little bit before Olajuwon Mutombo. It's like, oh, Africans, that's a thing we haven't done before.
Yeah. I don't know. It sucks, though. It's terrible. So, yeah. Sean.
It's a 2 for me. I wasn't really joking when I said this movie's kind of King Kong. Like, it's like, which it makes no sense because they say in the movie he's 6'9", right? So he sees like a 20-second clip of a 6'9" underweight man in another country, when I'll bet you there's 13 guys that are 6'10" on that campus right now. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
it's not like he was like 7'6" or some shit. You know, like just some kind of freak. I don't know, man. Like, it's like this movie reminds me. You ever bought like a Madden or NBA 2K, and while the game is loading, you have to play this like mode where it's just like sort of a scrimmage with no sound or whatever.
I hate
for an
that
hour.
shit. Why is that a thing?
The show has it.
The show has it, and it drives you fucking nuts. I just learned to let it download for 3 hours or whatever, and I'll play it when it's done.
Right, you got to play whoever the last two people in the championship game were. Like, this movie feels like it's loading for another movie that's better. Like, it's so nothing. And like, again, it's not even like super fun to talk about in like a 2021 lens, because it's like just kind of like racist in the normal way that things kind of were and sort of are.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Again, this is the Avengers Infinity War problem of no stakes, because it's like you never feel like Kevin Bacon's in any danger except when he's climbing that mountain for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, you never feel like he's going to lose his job, even though that's the setup, right? The setup is either him or the bald guy are going to be the coach, and that is never addressed for the rest of the movie.
You like, forget presumably, about it. Like, if he were to lose his job, he could go get a head coach position anywhere else, right? Like,
or something, yeah. But like, you know, let's say he really wants it, but he doesn't even really want that job. He's just mad that he can't play. You know what I mean? Like, it's
right.
Yeah. I'm not invested in any of it.
And the stakes of the Wanabe losing, it's like, you know, they're not going to fucking lose.
No.
Like,
and again, that doesn't matter, because literally they're just going to come back there the next day and machine gun everybody in that village.
Yeah, they already were willing. They're already willing to burn the place down. Like, why are they going to honor this fucking stupid bet?
You better get Saleh out of there real quick, Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, they're like murdering children at a wedding, but all of a sudden they're just going to take the L on this fucking pickup basketball game for these mining rights. Like, fuck off.
Saleh is going to find out, like, after math class one day, he's just like a prince in exile because his town is gone.
Yeah, he's gonna look.
What is wrong with you?
I can't fucking talk.
He's gonna look up to CNN.
Doug's got all choked up thinking about the perils of Saleh.
Yeah, he's gonna like walk through the quad or whatever while everybody's playing Magic the Gathering and look up and see the Chiron that says Wanabe, Africa, and just a bunch of fire.
All right, so that's the air up there. Sean, I have a listener question that I should have brought up. I should have brought up earlier.
Anthony?
No, this is not Anthony. This is devoted listener. I don't know if he wants me to give out his real name, but it was Barry, the guy we were supposed to send the fucking Joker.
Is it about that? Because I don't have it. It's at Gogs's house.
No, it's not.
It's not about that though. It's Sean. He wanted to know what your feelings are on, since we were talking about Spike Lee last week, what are your feelings on Summer of Sam?
I hate it.
Yeah, good. That movie's trash.
Is that the John Leguizamo movie?
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
this may be
he's in it. I mean,
this may be a weird thing to say. I don't like when Spike Lee dabbles in quote unquote white movies.
I would agree with that. I mean, 25th Hour is bad. The Old Boy is bad. Like,
Inside, famous white movie, Old Boy. But
well, yes, he put James Brolin in it. He made it a white movie. That's what I meant.
Inside Man's like half a good movie.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, and I'm not saying obviously he can direct movies with white people in or whatever. That's not what I'm saying. But like when he's making that kind of middle of the road, like more Hollywood friendly type movies. Yeah. I don't think that works as well as when he's just making his fucking weirdo like art school kid movies. So
sure, okay, all right, good. That's all.
Also, I think if I want to say Summer of Sam has the weirdest use of the song Bob O'Reilly by The Who that stops the movie dead for 4 minutes.
I forgot all about that. Yeah.
I
forgot. All right, well, whose pick is it next week? Who hasn't gone yet? Gogs is gone, and Sean is gone, so it's between me and Alec. Alec, you got a pick?
I do.
You can go.
All right, wild card pick. We're watching Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, shit. Enacting the wild card.
Oh.
What are the wild card? I'm fine with it. What are the wild card rules again? Just whenever?
Just once.
Just once. You get one a year.
Do whatever you want. Yeah.
Nice. I mean, and I'm into it.
Yeah,
I'll watch
I'm
Dawn of the
curious
Dead.
to see how much I don't like that movie now.
I'm interested in watching it. All right, cool. That's right, Dawn of the Dead. Next week, Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead. Be there and be square. All right,
And
everybody.
if you haven't done it yet, TJ showed me the other day. Look up pictures of Manute Bol swimming.
Yeah, that
He
shit
looks like
is hilarious.
he looks like the Slender Man.
Have you ever seen the picture of him and Muggsy where they're holding basketballs between them, like vertically?
No,
That's
oh
fucking
god,
crazy.
that's hilarious. All right, everybody. Each your own ass. We'll see you next week.
All
R.I.P. Ned Beatty, or as I called him in Sean's text, Dead Beatty. He
You
really
heard
did.
Ned Beatty.
He really did die. Good actor, good character actor. Lot of bitch.
Lot of bitch. Bye, boys.
See you guys.